Well, we finally made it down to Papa's house, or Uncle Jerry, whatever you want to call him. We're going to walk through and show you his setup with his rabbits and chickens and all that good stuff, and then we're going to make our way up to his fantastic garden and show you some big corn. We'll start off right here. This is his raisin brooder. Once he gets the chicks up so big, he puts them in here. He's got Brahmas and Golden Comets and light and brown, white and brown Brahmas, and then the Golden Comets.
My one sex-link.
And then the one black sex-link that he accidentally set. He didn't mean to set any of those this year, but he's got those, and he's got a run where they run out. They come out and get on the ground. Bunch of pretty nice little chickens right here. Everything here he's got is always healthy. He does real well with them. We'll go down through here, and these are his brooder pens. Here's another batch of younger chicks. There's probably 100 in here of these. He's just got to get them sorted through and see what we're going to keep and what we're going to get rid of. Those are Brahmas and Golden Comets as well. I think that's about all he hatched off this year was Brahmas and Golden Comets. These are chicken pens that he raises a few game chickens for legal purposes only, breeding and show only. Here's the Big Daddy Rhode Island Red Rooster. We picked him up over in Kentucky and brought him down to breed to his hens. They're really nice chickens. A few more game chickens. His pens are really nice set up. He's got automatic timers on them. In the springtime, he turns them on so that the lights will come on and the chickens actually start laying a little early, and he can hatch off chicks early. Right through here, it's a run that he made for his larger chickens. They run all through here. He gives them grass and supplements and so forth. These are the oldest of the Brahmas and the Golden Comets. They're pretty nice. They're up good sized. He's got a lot of them running around. All those down through there are game chickens. Right here's his rabbit setup. He's got a few little odds and ends rabbits. That's a lion head in there. I don't know if he's got any little ones in there or not. He's got a big chinchilla rabbit in here. It's a pretty nice little rabbit. He built all these. He got those two there, but he built all these cages here. He raises the Flemish Giants. They're pretty nice rabbits. He built these here, these cages here. They latch, and it opens 2 doors at a time. And you can reach in, you can feed and water all you need to. He raises the Flemish Giants and then some lion head crosses. They're really big rabbits. They're meat rabbits. The lion heads he grows for pets. He sells them to people for pets. He got this stuff here. It's an insulator, and it kind of holds the heat down off of them. He just lets the manure fall into the bottom, and then the chickens scratch it out. It gets a mess in here sometimes, but what don't? Yeah, it's a farm. He raises the Flemish Giants. They're big rabbits. I mean, they're monstrous. He has really good luck raising them. We don't have any luck raising them at all, but he has good luck with them. I don't know what he's got in here. He's got a few in here, the big black ones. They're good sized rabbits. He built all these cages by himself. He put the wood in. He built the boxes for every one of them. He done all the work himself. He done a really good job. This little setup here, he puts young chickens in. He takes and if he's got a sick chicken or a chicken that got hurt, injured, he'll take and quarantine them in these barrels. You put wood chips in. He feeds them waters on the front. They stay clean. They stay away from everything else. It's segregated. It's a really nice setup. We're going to actually have a setup similar to this later on. We've gotten some barrels and stuff to set it up, but we haven't quite got there yet. We'll take a walk around. This is one of his chick brooders. I don't think he's got any chicks in here now, but me and him built this thing here probably 10 or 12 years ago. We took 4 windows, they're sliding windows, and we put wire on the bottom, and it's got wire on the ends and wire on the bottom, and you can keep chicks alive in this so good. I mean, we've raised, I bet they've been 10,000 chicks go through that brooder right there between his and mine both. I mean, it does an amazing job. We'll ease around through here and take a look at where he keeps his bigger hens. He's got them, he's got a run that they go into. They go way out into the run out through there. You can see the fence goes all the way up. The big stock hens, they go all up into that. But they come into this building. He's got junk laying everywhere in it, but it doesn't bother the chickens any. They still love it. He's got there's the daddy to the Brahmas. I think he turned all the Brahma hens loose in here. These are his Rhode Island Reds and Isa Brown hens. He's got this automatic feeder set up to where he can fill it up and it feeds them for a few days. Say if we go off to go fishing or something, he can feed them for a few days and it takes care of them. This is another brooder. This was actually my design, but he built this one on his own. I designed these. You just open it up. He made the trays that you pour their feed into. They keep their lights in there, a wire on the bottom. He's got trays that slide under to catch the manure. They actually come out the back side right here. They slide in the gap. They slide all the way back to catch the manure. You can take it and empty it. Looks like he's got some bigger chicks in there right now. Them are all game chicks there. He built his nest boxes all along this wall. The hens come in. It's a lot cooler in here than you would think. It's not insulated at all. He just threw this side onto this building. He built all these nesting boxes, and they come in and lay. There's a black hen laying now. Big pretty brown eggs. Wyandotte, no, that's the, and that right there is what you're looking for. Big pretty brown eggs. I mean, that's why you raise them, just so you can get that stuff right there. And he'll have a hen every once in a while will go broody. He's got about 10 or 12 eggs in here that he'll need to get out, but we'll get them out later. He built these here. These are rollaway nests. He built them when he's just got a few hens, or if he has hens that likes to eat the eggs, he'll segregate them. And it's got a top that goes on, but these here, they slide open so you can reach in and get the eggs out. And the eggs actually slide down. They'll roll down when they lay them, and they'll lay against this back board, and the hens can't get to them to peck them to eat them. And that's how you keep hens from eating them. All the chickens will come in here at night and they roost on these. They don't have to. Chickens don't have to roost, but these chickens like to roost. So he built the roost for them, and they stay right there real well. Most of his chickens are pretty calm and gentle. All right, we'll work our way up to the garden, and let's see. Let's look at his tomatoes right here. We'll show you his tomatoes real quick, and then we'll ease up through there to the garden. He's got some really nice Romas. We actually grew these Romas here in our greenhouse and brought them to him. And man, they're absolutely loaded down with fruit. They're good looking tomato plants, and they're bearing really well. He grew some cucumbers. These are the Burpless style, and all these tomatoes are volunteers that came back from last year. They're the little Sunshine Gold or something like that. They're just a little orange tomato. I don't really know the name for them, but they're really good. They were sweet. I ate a bunch of them off the vine last year. He had thousands of them hanging up and down through here, and he pulled a lot of plants because it was smothering out his cucumbers. I was looking to see if he had any nice cucumbers. He must have picked them all already. He's like I am. He gets in the garden, he just starts picking stuff. I like to pick. I'll come home with handfuls of stuff just because I was in there. I don't know what breed these tomatoes are. There's a cucumber, a little small one. You got a little pepper plant there. It's probably a volunteer. And then these here are what we call the white tomatoes. I don't know if anybody ever heard of them. They grow green like that, and then when they ripen, they turn solid white. And he'll grow these. They grow up, these strings are an indeterminate. They'll grow up these strings and they'll hit that cattle panel, and he weaves them in and out. And we've had them grow up and over the top of his house. They've been that big. And you can just go on the porch up there and pick tomatoes off the top part of it. Man, they get big and pretty. I've picked them that big and one slice and slap it on some bread with some mayonnaise. Man, you're talking about a good sandwich. They grow really good tomatoes. I tried to grow some last year. He gave me 4 or 5 plants this year, and they're in the garden, but they're not doing anything. Last year I grew 2 or 3, but he's always had good luck growing. There's a few on that one. That's a pretty decent one right there. And they'll turn white. They get really good size. They're a meaty tomato, and I love them. They're really good. That's probably my favorite tomato. Well, in just a minute we'll work our way up to the garden and we'll show you some big corn. All right, we made it up here to his garden. Right before we get into his big garden, we're going to look at his rhubarb patch. It's a pretty good patch. He's had it for years. It used to be down in the other yard, and he dug it up and brought it up here and planted it to kind of get it out of the yard. And strawberries, I think he's got 2 varieties of strawberries in here. One's an Everbear, and they've not done what they're supposed to do. Kids got up here earlier and ate every one of them out of there. But that's a little strawberry bed. It grows, it spreads out everywhere. There's his corn. You can see some of the big tall corn is 4 foot taller than the other corn. We'll work our way over here into it and see what we got. These are blueberry bushes. I don't think they produced anything this year. The deer actually got down here and horned its horns on this one and broke part of it off. Little blueberry bush. He planted a couple. These are nectarine trees here. He's not gotten any fruit off of them, but man, they're nice. They growed really, really nice. He's not gotten any fruit off of them at all yet, but I'd say probably next year I would say they'll probably bear, as long as we don't have too bad of a spring. They should be okay. We got this electric fencing up. We've got the box turned off, but he's got a groundhog that comes in, and that right there will actually deter the groundhog. All right, this corn here, this is his Honey Select corn, and as you can see, it's a good tall patch. I mean, it's big compared to ours. He plants his on 50 inches, I believe, is what he plants his on, because he's got a rake that he hooks to his mower, and he can run it through there, and it keeps him from having to hoe and everything. He's up in age a little bit, so he tries to make it as easy as he can. That corn there is really nice corn. His beans, these are the volunteer half runners, and man, they're nice. He's got some big full beans on them. They're nice beans. A lot of them's actually starting to try to turn to seed. He got his out way earlier than us, and a lot of his is trying to turn to seed. He uses cattle panels. He's got roof bolts from the mines, and he just drives them in the ground, and he wraps cattle panels to it all the way down. And the beans grow on them really good. You know, it does really well. And here he had Roma beans, and he actually pulled them up the other day and retilled all this here and planted kale and radishes and turnips in that. Ours is coming up. We're getting ready to do that. We'll show you that in a video as well, the way we prepare our soil and everything. This here is his Indian corn. And man, you're talking about big corn. I mean, it's tall. I'm 5'10", 5'11". I mean, that's tall. There's some of that corn that's 12 foot tall. And that's crazy. Ours ain't that tall at the house. Our tallest piece might be that big. But he has got some big corn out through there. I mean, it's 12, 13, 14 foot tall out there in the middle. And that's the bicolored. See, he's getting ears on his, and the ears grown way up on the corn. This is the decorative corn that they do for fall, you know, festives. They'll wrap it up and put it on the table, you know, when they put them in the cornucopias and stuff. But it's decorative. You know, you could probably grind it if you wanted to and make flour and stuff out of it, but we've not gotten that far into it yet. And this here is a special corn that he grows. We call it Papa's corn. He's raised it for a few years. It's a really sweet corn. He grows it every year. He saves seed. I don't know what the name of it is, to be honest with you. We just call it Papa's corn. He does really well with it. It grows. It don't get really big, as you can see. It's head high, 6 foot tall. But I mean, it's got a small ear, but it's sweet. It's really, really, really sweet. And it's more of a white than gold. But it's good corn. Here's his squash plants. Now, his squash plants are ridiculous. Ours is good sized at the house, but his is just absolutely ridiculous. I've never seen squash grow like this. I mean, and they're loaded down with fruit. You can see in there, right there in that one spot, they're absolutely loaded with squash. They're coming on just as fast as he can pick them. He's got a table full of them down there that's just big, where they got to grow too fast. Right in this area here, he's got watermelons. He's got the sugar babies. These actually we grew in our greenhouse, and that one's actually ready. You can see the brown runner right above where the watermelon's at. It's dried up and shriveled up. That means that watermelon is ready. He's got, I think last time I was up here and counted, he had 8 or 10. There's another one right here in the walkway. I think I see 1 or 2 more in there. There's another one. He got a bunch of little sugar baby watermelons. I'm looking forward to those. Those are supposed to be really sweet. My wife absolutely loves them. That's the way we grew those. That's the reason we grew those instead of the Charleston Grays. I don't see a way to really get through there to his squash, but he has got little straight neck squash everywhere. If he don't get up here and pick these, I'll probably end up picking these because these are nice. Ours has got a few on it at the house, but them right there is really, really nice. We'll ease our way down through here, see what else we can see in here. There's some more little squash. It's just loaded. I've never seen squash plants. There's a great big one over there that he's probably missed. It's a big one. There's a little watermelon. This here, I'm not sure what variety it is, but as you can tell, it's a striped watermelon. It's not the sugar babies. That's the sugar babies. They're a dark watermelon, and then that's the other kind that he's growing. Like I said, I don't know what they are. These are his zucchini plants right in here. And I think he's got several zucchinis in here that's ready to be harvested. Pretty good size. There's some more squash in there. There's a big zucchini. They grow so fast that he can't harvest them. They get big quick, and it gets to where he cannot get them harvested. If there's any down in here, I think he's about got them all off of this one, but it's sprouting more. Yes, there's another striped watermelon. And here's his pumpkins. He got his pumpkins in at the same time he got his watermelons in. And man, they just took off. These are the ones we call the Long Johns. They're big pumpkins. I mean, you can see compared to my hand, that's a big pumpkin. A lot of food. He feeds them to his chickens. He don't grow them for any other purpose other than that. So he'll put out 6 or 8 plants, and that's what he grows to feed them through the fall. He'll give them fresh pumpkins. So he wanted one that produces a lot of food. Not necessarily the sweetest, best tasting, but food for animals. And man, those produce a lot of food. They're a real meaty pumpkin. We sliced a few of them open last year, did very few seeds in them, and meat that thick all the way through them. I mean, really, really, really good meaty pumpkin. He was telling us about that big one there. We hadn't been up here in quite a while. I don't know that he's got any more great big ones. I'm sure there's a few laying out there's one little one up yonder. But they're really nice. His varieties of tomatoes, I don't know. I don't know what varieties they are. Just something that he plants. The neighbor up here actually planted with him. These look like Romas. So I'd say there's a Roma plant in there. As far as the other ones, I don't know. Just something that they've planted together. The neighbor comes down and plows this, and then Jerry comes through and works it. These peppers here, I think most of these are jalapenos. I think that's what they wanted to grow, was the jalapenos. That looks like a bell pepper of some sort. It's absolutely jamming. It's loaded with bell peppers. That one's got a bunch of bells on it. Let's see here, that one's a bell pepper. That one's a bell pepper. Looks like those are all bells. Now there's the jalapenos. They got a few little peppers on them. You can see. They don't have the growth that we've got on the peppers. There's a few good ones on that one. But there's some good ones on there. They down at the bottom of their plants. I would say that they don't have the growth that we have on their peppers because we picked through ours several times. We try to get the small ones off so that the other ones can grow. But you know, that's just how we do it. They seem to do a lot better once you pick the small ones and let the other ones grow. But I believe we'll wrap it up there. Like I said, the tomatoes are doing great. The corn, if you want to pan out and look at the corn, it blows my mind as to how big that corn is, especially compared to this other corn that's beside of it. You know, if you like what you've seen, let us know, and we'll keep trying to make more videos and send them out there. Thank you.